So good. And just to close, speaking of teachers, I want to understand this a little better. How can you explain Jesus's healings or other healers who are able, as Abraham describes, that because their vibration was so steady, I guess if everything that exists, vibration is so present in that moment with them, that everything around them, the cells of the beings around them and the environment, how does it work? Is it in terms of this movement? Is it more progression in someone's body? I mean, can you just explain it a little bit in terms of what we were talking about?
This work that you are talking about will offer you from that place of energy embodied in the place of Jesus. There is movement coming through for you to hear it from that particular place. From that particular place of what you want to know from the first-hand information. You are having these experiences and following into my example of steadiness and seeing variety from the place of everything that exists. You can use whatever words you want to use, but me, as every other person walking on earth in variety of ways, in variety of places, at all times, every generation has people like that are ready to see the experience in such a blended, balanced perfection. Perfection in the sense of so much steadiness that you can find and use people like us to get into that place yourself. In other words, what's been happening at all times is steadiness coming through. Steadiness coming through, and that others from outside seeing that as motivation. Because as you are moving through your physicality, as I was in this sense, you are having these experiences of others being really motivated through your example, through the example of what's being done. And so when those people are coming through and they sense that steadiness, then they're choosing, are they going to act on the motivation that's outside of them? Are they getting inspiration to act and join into that? And that is the work that has been done over millennia at all times, over eons at all times. They're always the ones that are steady. They're always the ones that are steadier. But nobody's getting anyone else in the place that they're not ready to be. It is just that steadiness becomes like an energy coil, so dominant that it's so clear, so not invasive, so satisfying to others that motivation instantaneously turns into inspiration for them to act. And that's in those moments when you can see the releasing of all of those fears, releasing of all of those questions that have been piled up, all of those experiences that have been piled up, so much so that they can see themselves the way that I or any other prophet can see them at that very moment.
And what was your message of unconditional love, and why was love so prevalent in your message throughout?
Because that steady, everything that exists part is, and it can be described exactly like that. That place of love is that steady place, that everything that exists, measurement that you have within you, that you're carrying within you at all times. And your observation in the places of others is only what gets you to experience more of that. Your heart is big. Your heart is so big as the whole universe. Your heart is the universe. And as you go about experiencing your life from that point of view, when you get to experience more and more of that steadiness, when you have that being so dominant within you, other ones will join you, and other ones will not necessarily just celebrate you as someone who is igniting something in them, who is getting them to do something for them, but as someone that they're so beautifully moving through in their physical experience.
And is humanity moving closer and closer to this this beingness?
Humanity has never been closer, and it's always moving in the direction of more and more balance, more and more speed within that balance. For as you're moving through eternity, you are then experiencing more satisfying and more satisfying and more satisfying physicality.
Thank you.
We'll take a second. We're ready for the next question. Go ahead.